Claim rewards from contract. Mastered the basics. Claim those rewards. Why not? 100 ores. 100 whores. So there's play. There's arena. Thronebreaker. Oh, that's the new game. I want to look out for that. It's quite interesting looking. Deck builder and shop. I believe I can open my kegs in the shop, can't I?
Such wow-wows not find no place, no how.
Nice. Oh, open goodies. That's probably the button I'm after.
Big smash smash.
Yes, you feel free to smash, my friend. Once open, this keg will grant you 5 cards from the base set, 4 of which are at least common rarity, and a 5th chosen from 3 cards that is guaranteed at least rare rarity. Rare rarity. That was an oddly disappointing level of animation there, because it just sort of came in and didn't look as... I was expecting a really good sort of kind of slow... Oh, it's snapping. Oh, it's snapping. Now it's snapped and opened. It was a bit... That one was actually genuinely slightly disappointing. A bridge troll. Boost the highest ally by 4. Death Wish. Again, I'm assuming there's specific... One would imagine that perhaps the bridge troll, when it dies, it boosts the highest ally by 4, hence Death Wish. Don't know for absolute certain, but it would make a degree of sense. The Mangonel! Whenever you reveal a card, damage a random enemy by 1. Awesome. And that is the sort of one that would go on the siege area, but it looks like they may have removed the siege bar, column, row. It's a row, not a column. Margarita Loantel. And I don't know if you'd pronounce all the L's or not in that name. You might not. Zeal. Spend 3 charges to lock an enemy unit. And there are 3 charges on that card. I wonder if there is a way of rebuilding charges. Because otherwise, why specify 3 and 3? If there's not perhaps a way to rebuild those charges. So that'd be interesting to find out, I suppose. Doppler. Deploy. Choose a unit in your hand, then boost itself by the total number of units in your hand which have the same primary category as that unit. I don't know precisely what you mean by primary category, but hopefully. I don't. That's intriguing. That was obviously the army value number from the tutorial. As you can see, we've got 4, 4, 5, 1. I don't know what that lower corner number is. Intriguing. Still deploy. Oh, if we go into the trigger this ability when moved from the battlefield to the graveyard. Units that are banished are not sent to the graveyard. Okay. So yeah, it was exactly what I thought it was. Let's find out what our rare card was. Oh, I see. I do actually have to physically pick this. This is. I'm not sure about this. So, Torrential Rain for 4 turns on turn start. Damage 2 random units by 1. So that's slightly... I suppose it's roughly the same level of damage, but across 2 units that are random rather than the top one. The Dimoon Warship... I was going to say Demerge in a very strange fashion because I was combining deploy and damage. Deploy. Damage enemy by 1 3 times. I assume I get to choose that, and it's got a reach of 2, so that's actually quite potent, I feel. But that's got a higher 8 number. But I don't know what that number means, but I have the urge to think that that number being higher means something good. But I don't know what. Deploy ranged. Spawn and play a cow carcass. That sounds phenomenal. But I am still drawn to the fact that that 8 is higher than a 5. But I also quite like the idea of the Rot Tosser, because that sounds just fucking silly. I can understand. I mean, that's probably a very realistic... Because The Witcher is quite dark, but reasonably realistic. He fights monsters with silver swords and uses mutagens and magic. Yeah. You go with the phrase realistic. No, I mean some of its concepts are born quite realistically from medievally style warfare, and that's probably the sort of thing they would probably do. Fuck it, we'll have the cow. We'll have the rock-tossing cow machine. The problem is I don't know these cards overly well, so I don't know what works and what doesn't work. You understand all of the cards. Oh, it's not quite what I thought it was. It's a slightly different one. Still a Damoon, but it's a light longship. Damage self and an enemy by 1. Possibly a bad thing to do. Dun Banner! Gain zeal if played adjacent to 2 soldiers. Damage an enemy by 3. Ooh, yes. I see how that's quite interesting. An Alchemist. Deploy range. Swap the power of 2 allies. Interesting. I suppose could be quite good. I'm trying to figure out a reason why you'd want that, but I think it'd be if you say played Geralt on the front line, and then you had something on the back line that was weak, and the enemy played Fog on the front line. You could, before Geralt gets damaged by that, if you swapped his power level, it wouldn't make as much difference to your end result, would it? You'd still come out reasonably well. So I think that's probably where you'd want to be using that. I don't necessarily think you care. I don't know if I care. Petrie's Filter. Zeal. Order. Boost an ally by 3 and give it zeal. So probably... I suppose zeal is just you being able to use an order straight away, isn't it? So even if... Yeah, hang on, let's see the technical definition of zeal. An order ability can be used on the same turn the card is placed on the battlefield. So, boost an ally by 3 and give it zeal. So I'm assuming... what that meaning is, it's boosting an ally by 3 is fairly simple, but giving it zeal perhaps allows you to use its order immediately. But I'm not sure. Oh, because it's an artifact. Maybe you can use it alongside a unit. That's the only thing I can think of, that you can use that one alongside of a unit, because otherwise it's pointless. Because you wouldn't need zeal on anything else. So yeah, I'm assuming you would be able to go, if you deployed this without the 2 soldiers, you could deploy that, then use Petrie's Filter on that, and you get zeal to do the damage. I think that's how that's done. A Hawker Smuggler. Melee. Every turn on turn end, boost a random unit in your hand by 1. Ooh, that's probably not bad. That's probably quite good, that one. Hang on. I'm confused as to whether they're U's or V's. I think they're V's. Vicovaro Novice. A human mage. Deploy range. Draw a card, then place a card from your hand at the top of your deck. A Harpy Egg. Oh, I'm loving the claw. Loving the claw. Subtle, but effective. And the little... Oh, these cards are brilliant. Death Wish. Spawn a harpy and summon it to this row. That makes a degree of sense. I'm leaning towards that, because if you stick that out, as it were, if you stick it out at the first turn, you are going to get some sweet returns. So yes, we'll grab that one, as I think it strikes me as probably moderately decent. Anyway, we've had some games. I know it was a tutorial, so I know it wasn't necessarily the world's most challenging of things, but we had some games of The Witcher. So this was Gwent, another card game in, that's right, the JDragon's Gaming Circus card game special. Far too many words in that title, but it's all I've got, and I'm going with it. I don't know for certain. I must admit, I probably should have explained this in Magic as well. That Magic, The Gathering Online, that was a free download game, if you're interested. Quite entertaining, especially if you like Magic the Gathering. Equally so, I would say, considering I don't. To say I don't like Magic the Gathering is wrong, but to say I like and follow Magic the Gathering would also be wrong. It's somewhere in the middle. I don't dislike it, but I'm not like well into it like some. So, but I imagine it's very good for those who are well into it, but also quite good for people like me who aren't hugely into it, but quite enjoy it as a little side thing. But it was free to play to download free. A lot of these might end up being free because this Witcher game, as far as I know, is also free. But I think this one might be exclusive to Good Old Games, the old GOG. I might be mistaken on that one, but I'm fairly certain. Certainly, I am playing it through Good Old Games. And Thronebreaker, I think, for a long time, that was exclusive to Good Old Games. The old Project Red? Is it just Project Red? I think it is just Project Red. Project Red, they seem to have a nice deal going with Good Old Games, where not only does Good Old Games have... I mean, Good Old Games were giving the Witcher games out for free as well. I'm fairly certain. Although I already owned Witcher 1 and 2, Good Old Games just went, do you want the Witcher game for free? And it's like, the bear's shit in the woods? Damn straight I want the Witcher game for free! Even though I already had it, but... You tell me, you ask me if I want something to do with The Witcher for free, I'm taking it. That's fact. That's fact there, right there and then. So yeah, I'm fairly certain this Gwent game is free through GOG. Might be available elsewhere, but I don't know of the elsewhere. It's enjoyable, as you may have seen. The cards, oh my god. Developers of this game, if you ever see this, well done. Well done. I love your cards. I must admit, you might actually have to start paying shit for the actual animations. That rankles me, but you've got to make your money somewhere. It's a free-to-play game. So it's not too much of a bad thing, but they did spoil me rotten by showing me all the beautifully animated cards, only to then go, oh, yeah, if you want the others animated, you might have to, gather more of that dust, and yeah, we'll let you have a bit of this dust for a large price, eh? Hey? That's how they get you. That's how you get you. They start you off with a little bit of a freebie, and then they start charging for that dust. Anyway, we've rambled quite a bit more than I'd intended. It's fucking awesome. Need you hear any more of a review than that to go out and have a crack at Gwent. As I say, Gwent, Good Old Games, enjoyable. And now for something moderately similar, but mostly different.